Some don't want to sit at the head table, but it's a big honor. And all the guests that came tonight, the Friedman family, our family, and everyone in the extended family in our community. Thank you so much for coming to commemorate the 25th yahrzeit of my father's Zechar Rocha, Zechar Rocha, and to commemorate the remembrance of our Friedman for the whole Chavra Vadat Sola, what they did in Prague and in America as well. So both the Rebbetzin and I take this as a big privilege that you came to join us, and also I want to mention to my shver, my shviga, should have a full shalema, speedy recovery. Thank you, Controller Levine, for addressing us. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Zeb Brenner, for making this event so special. Yaakov Yosef, Sauerbaum, Moshe Mintz, and of course our honorees, Moshe Jacobs, who not only does for our Shul, but does for the whole, not only for the whole West Side, but the whole island of Manhattan. And he's involved with a beautiful Chevra Shomrim that is here to assist Police Department. Saying that, I want to mention for the Commissioner of Community Affairs, Mr. Foster, Alan Foster, as well as Gregory Persop, for joining us tonight and making this event so special. And I say Rabbi Sheldon Fine for making this so, for helping out as well. Just a little word in the Pasha. First of all, I want to thank my children, my uncle, for the completion of the tractate. So, the Dafyomi Chavra Dafyomi, and those that participate in our Simon's Shir every week. Continuation of the koil that we had, and may be healthy. And the rest will continue to be Marvin's Torah. Also to mention Rabbi Moshe that behind the scene helped so many years in the archives of my father's kind of Rocha, and bringing to light many of the great things that these great men did. The Torah tells us that the king of Egypt, Paro, decreed that all male children should be killed. And he appointed 2 midwives. The Torah says one was called Shifra and the second one was called Shapur. And he told them, when you see the children come out, they're born, if it's a boy, you should dispose of them. But if it's a girl, keep them alive. And Basi B'choyer. And the Torah tells us these midwives feared Hashem. And they didn't comply with Paro, king of Egypt, but and they gave life to these children. And Rashi explains that who are these two midwives? Rashi says, Pua zu Miriam. Pua, the one that was called Pua was Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu. Who was Shifra? Was Yocheved, the mother of Moshe, of this child that was born. And Rashi says, why were the one called Shifra and one was called Pua? Because Shifra means she was Meshaper. She made comfortable. She put lotion on. She made the skin smooth. Pua means she cooed the child. When the child would cry, she would make the child comfortable and calm the child down. Pua. She cooed. That's what it's called, Pua. So the question the commentaries ask is, why, if you're giving them a name, they were called Miriam and Yocheved, why call them Shifra and Pua? Because the wonderful thing they did, they put on lotion, and they cooed the children, they made them comfortable. They should have been called names that indicate their heroic mission, their heroic job that they did. They saved Jewish children. They saved little babies, innocent little babies. They saved them. They should have been called the heroines they should be called heroines. Give them a name that indicate their heroic mission, instead of calling them something that indicates making them comfortable. So some commentaries explain that saving children or saving someone doesn't really indicate, it's not indicative of who the person actually is. Because people run into buildings, burning buildings, not to make it a simple thing, but they run in even for a dog that's in the building, right? The dog's important, animal's important, but they would run in to save an animal. And of course to save people. But it doesn't, so this is a common thing people would do. But to indicate who the person, the essence of the person is, which a name indicates. A name indicates who the person actually is. And when you call someone by that name, you're indicating who they are. Someone that's out not only to help and save someone, but make them comfortable. Make them go out of your way to make someone, a child, right? The Yiddish child comfortable. These people, these great rescuers and great people that Cong will have, it's not only that they save, they're willing to go out and save people, but you can see what they did afterwards. They worried for the panosa, they worried for their livelihood. They worried for, I don't know how many people knew that my father, Zechariah Rocha, made an institution called HAS. HAS, at the time when my father, Zechariah Rocha, made it, not many people know that he made it. He had a school on 85th Street, and he took Mr. and Mrs. Cong, who started the school, were the founders of the school, and he took them as teachers for handicapped children. At the time, God forbid someone had a handicapped child, they would get rid of it. They couldn't deal with it. People didn't, today is, yeah, of course, and the people show a lot of love, go to camps and ask. In the summer, people give a lot of love for these children. And this was unknown at the time. But many, many more things that they did. The institutions that they set up, yeshivas, they brought to Medrash, Kippur Torah places people don't even know about. So these people, Rabbi Friedman was involved in Chabad afterwards for many, many years to help. He worked in Chabad. These are people, not only did they help rescue people, but they continued taking care, taking note, children's salvation, there was a children's salvation, many, many more institutions that they were involved in because they cared for everyone. That shows the greatness of these people. There's a story, just I'm going to make this, there's an aim to say, Maisa Tzadikim. The Shloime Kaliner was once going with his Talmud, the Matcha Lechavitcher. He was going on a trip. And on the way, they stopped off in an inn. He stopped off in an inn, and he asked for a varm mad, a warm drink, cold winter. And he's waiting. And all of a sudden, a contingent of soldiers come in. And he sees a Yid, he's sitting there by the table waiting to be served. He says, what is he doing here? And he starts screaming, he says, you should go out. He says, leave. He just ignored him. And again he starts screaming, and again he ignored him. Third time he goes over, he takes out his sword, and he puts it on his neck. He says, I told you to leave. And he keeps on asking, where is the warm mad that I asked for? And all of a sudden, he just ignores him. And this soldier leaves. He walks out, nothing happened. So Lechavitcher said, he says, Chazal tell us, our sages tell us, Afilu cherev chadam v'nefes al tzavurei shel odam al yimra atzmai v'narachim. Gemara in Sefer Brachos. So he says, Pshat is, even in a moment where you have difficulties, cherev chad, you have a sword over your neck, al yimra atzmai v'narachim, you shouldn't, as though the fish, uprising from Vekas, the merciful is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Even at the moment where it's most frightening, you should still be medavik. You should still be medavik. You shouldn't be misquoted for anything. Tzadikim they extend their greatness into any nuance, everything they do in life, and that's what they did. And you could see from not only from specific events, but from their whole conduct. And that's what's we should ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, discuss these tzaddikim, what they did for Klal Yisrael. Their schus should continue. And we should be zeicher through them to many brachas and the Gula Shlita.